Today is the new moon in Taurus, and I am thinking about embodiment. Taurus is a sign that's all about enjoying our physical existence in the world and enjoying our senses. And to do that, we need to be in our bodies. And what does that mean? I have a lot of thoughts on it. And I also have herbs that I like for helping with embodiment. I'm Lily, and this is Cutie with Brown Bear Herbs. When I think about embodiment for myself, what I am thinking of is being able to energetically be present in my whole body. And when does this get disrupted? If we have a trauma, which could be, a car accident or a past life wound, or a sexual trauma, or a broken leg, anything like that that's jarring to our body in the past or present or more present, it can cause some amount of abandonment of that part of our body. And it can happen because of emotions too, which is really important. So that I would say today, because of Taurus energy, I would like to focus on things related to Venus. And that brings to mind some traumas related with the more feminine aspects of life. A lot of chronic health conditions developing because of sexual trauma can be that's not dependent on gender. The more that we continue to pull out of those areas because of what we don't want to experience, then that leads to energetic imbalances and perpetuates a state of being in dis-ease. Another one is the heart. I see this in a lot of men, but it's also not dependent on gender. And I think especially I see this in men who are, if I looked at their astrological chart, I would see that they are very naturally inclined to be emotional. And then I assume it's because of how they were raised. They are very shut down or dissociated from their hearts. And then that causes a lot of injury to themselves and to the people around them, the people in their lives. And then I believe that also, anytime you're dissociating from a certain area of your body, you're not in the ideal harmony. If you're working on trying to be in more command of your own life and your own health, then I feel mind body techniques and herbs and different things like that can help you on a journey that is going to mean that you are just inhabiting your body more. And there are risks associated with taking yourself out of a part of yourself. And that is that it kind of leaves a vacancy. And so I've seen patterns of repeated trauma, or I've seen negative spirits enter a vacant heart or a mostly vacant heart and start making the decisions for someone else. I always think of the heart as having the best PR. It's Valentine's Day cards and fun and games, right? But we've all had a lot of challenging emotional experiences. So when we decide to go and live in our heart more, we may run into really negative thinking about ourselves that we've learned, or we might run into a lot of emotions and we've been told no, you're not allowed to express those emotions. It's stupid if you cry, or any number of different things, or it is not allowed for you to get angry. That's unacceptable. There's so many different things that we've heard. Also with trauma, if you have trauma in a certain body area, anything simple from a broken bone. I had a broken ankle years ago, and I noticed that part of my subconscious strategy to manage the pain was to pull my energy out of that area of my body. And I had to really consciously like move it back into my ankle in order to be myself again and to heal better. And same thing with like sexual trauma. We can pull out like, whoa, we want to get away from that area where that event happened and like where we still feel like a lot of unhappy feelings. But my experience is that if we can come back into that place, like honor the pain and invite joy in, it's the same with the heart. Like if we can be in that space, see the pain and allow for there to be good that comes in and movement and neutrality and all sorts of stuff, then we're going to have greater health. I think it's really hard to heal chronic illness in a place where you don't want to live in that place, where you're like pulled out of it. And that's just like a very normal response to trauma and to bad feelings and pain. So I guess my mottos are like when I'm having a problem is to like go into that, sit with it, and keep things moving. And that can mean a lot of different things. That could mean like consciously like bringing energy to like where you have a problem for a 10-minute meditation every day. That could mean turning on your favorite dance mix and like moving your body all around, and especially making sure that you're flowing in those areas that are difficult. That could mean, you know, being able to sit with like really scary news and then like watch your favorite like comedy thing, and like learning how to like switch in between those different modes and being like okay. And part of what helps with that are herbs. I wanted to share 2 of my products today that I think help with embodiment in like the pelvis and the heart. Okay, Humanity Tea is helpful for coming into your heart and being able to experience emotions more and not pull out of emotions or compartmentalize. I made this tea to address some of the underlying emotional and energetic imbalances I see with people who have substance use issues or alcoholism, also with certain professions that require you to compartmentalize a lot, such as like legal profession, any like high intensity roles that require you to kind of turn off the workplace or have trouble integrating everything that you're going through. So Humanity Tea has hawthorn, which is great for like opening up your heart, but has thorns to protect you. So it's not just a wide open free feel type of thing. It's like I've been through some stuff in life, and I know that I can't just be open to anyone, but I'm open to good feelings. It has yerba santa in it, which is my favorite herb for substance use problems, especially alcoholism. It really helps if you wall off certain areas of your life and emotions. It helps you be able to deal with them just more easily. I have seen like profound shifts happen with people. In my own experience, if I'm having trouble integrating an emotion, I can take yerba santa and it can really smooth my healing and emotional processing. I love it. There's a lot of information on the Plant Meditation Club post about yerba santa. We did a meditation on it. Humanity Tea also has agrimony in it. People who tend to be stoic emotionally, if they're having pain or emotional distress, they tend to like put on a happy face and they're just like, hey, I'm doing great. How are you? And like, they're not allowing other people to see their suffering, and they're often will like hold their breath and like really pulling out of their feelings to manage them. And then time. If you're in a lifestyle or a career where you're having to deal with intense nightmarish situations, time is my favorite herb for nightmares and life or death situations. So all 4 of those herbs that are in Humanity Tea help with any gender, but they're common like messages that men get, that they need to be like stoic or they need to be really brave. and less emotional. Regardless of gender, if you've been told, like, don't go to your heart, be brave, stuff like that, then, and or you're having issues where you're compartmentalizing your emotions, like you're using substances or you're just shutting down to deal with difficult life situations, then the herbs and humanity tea can help you like ease into that and just be able to integrate things a lot more easily. The other product I wanted to share for embodiment, especially with like the energy, Taurus energy, which is very Venusian and sensual, is my ASMR tincture. It is made with ashwagandha, shatavari, maca, and rose for your heart. So the first three herbs are really great for bringing more like sensuality and pleasure and excitement into your sexual life. Also endurance, like Taurus is very much a sign of like, it has the strength to like enjoy that part of life like every day, which is a beautiful thing if you have the energy. If like a sense of depleted energy is an aspect of like not feeling like your fullest self in that area of life, then those herbs, ashwagandha, shatavari, and maca, can really help you like feel like the strength of that energy again. And then having the rose makes you connected to your heart, so that it's not just about a sexual connection or a sensual connection. It is also about like an emotional connection, because you can't really separate emotions from sexual connection, really. Okay, so it's in there. It's part of it. We're whole bodies. We're having the whole thing. That's the point. We're going to be embodied, and we're going to experience our whole thing. And we're going to sit with the difficult stuff, and we're going to move into our emotions, and we're going to like allow space for people to comfort us regardless of our typical role, and we're going to be there for other people too. We're going to learn how to do that in a way that like is sustainable. Those are two great products to check out if you haven't experimented with them yet. And in general, I encourage you to try an approach to dis-ease or discomfort where instead of checking out, when you have the time, maybe it's not right at that moment, but maybe it's a little bit later in the day, when you have the realization that there's discomfort and that you want to step back, try stepping in. Try saying, oh, like I see that there's this pain here. I see that like I'm having an emotional response. Like, let's sit with that. Or, like I noticed I did not want to have sex or something like that. Or I haven't wanted to do that in a long time because I had a bad experience. Try like checking in and being like, do I need to honor something that has happened? Do I need to validate my feelings? What's being called for? What's being called for if we're in our bodies, if we're in those spaces that are difficult? I see a lot of different lifetimes with people that I interact with. And it's not all the time, but I see a lot of things. And my takeaway from it is that our time and our relationships, our time with each other and our relationships are very precious. And when things don't go quite right, it's worth going into those difficult spaces and within ourselves and within relationship to say, what is needed and how can we move forward? Because otherwise we find a way to either learn compassion later, often through suffering, or we come back to meet each other again and again and again until we figure it out. I think it's just really important to keep working on ourselves. And not everybody's up for it, but checking in and make sure we're being honest with ourselves and seeing what's needed is a great place to go for improving relationships, making the most of our time on earth, and having a greater sense of ease and the ability to receive joy in this lifetime. I'd love to hear your experiences if you start experimenting with tuning in to difficult spaces, or if you've already been into that. I'd love to hear how it's affecting your health, or if it's like bringing up information that's helping you with your health. You can find more information about my work, especially like my plant meditation club I'm really excited about right now, at brownbearherbs.com, and that's where our products are too. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Have a great day.